Hello, my friends. It is so good to be back here with you on my channel. 4 months ago, I was sharing with you that the most important lesson for this year and beyond is to master our frequency, to be able to find that unshakable, irrevocable peace inside, no matter what's going on the outside. And as time goes on, that's going to become more and more essential, more and more important. Today, I just want to share how I practically do this on a daily basis. In my previous video, I went into a deep, chakra meditation and guided experience, but this is something that's so simple, and it really is the end of suffering. I know so many people are suffering right now, and it's very easy to suffer even if we're not directly going through trauma or something horrific. Just seeing others suffer can be a cause of suffering. What I'm sharing with you here on this beautiful afternoon in the mountains is that there is a beautiful, simple, direct way to find center in the middle of our modern world. I'll illustrate this with a story. I had to get a driver's license in the new state I live in. Jason and I moved cross country. We've had massive change in our life. There's been so much beauty in this change, and there's also been so much letting go. I was going to the DMV at like 8 o'clock in the morning. I chose to go to a DMV in some teeny little town an hour away because I wanted to go to this beautiful area in nature. I get my driver's license, and as I leave the DMV, I head to this gorgeous, gorgeous spot in nature. I don't even have words for it other than I don't have any footage either because I went without any technology, and I just sat for 4 hours on this rock overlooking this gorgeous creek and trees and birds and so much life pulsing, and the land there is mica, so it's all sparkly gold, beautiful. Everything was sparkling. The water was sparkling, the stone was sparkling, the soil was sparkling, the dewdrops on the leaves was sparkling, and then that started to open up as I sat in silence and in stillness. A deeper sparkle started to open, a sparkling light that sometimes opens up for me when I'm just sitting in silence or in stillness. And it felt like my entire body. If you're on my newsletter, I've been sending out these Sunday audio gifts. And one of the things that I shared there recently is that I've been very focused on filling my well. So everything I do output-wise is very intentional, and anything to do with my business is very sustainable and clear and simple and generative financially, and anything else I just kind of have put on hold to focus on filling my well and giving myself ample time to enjoy my life. As I was sitting out there, I could feel my well filling, brimming with power, with beauty, with love. And then a few hours in, I started to sneeze up a storm. Allergies. I'm in a new place. I've never had allergies in my life, but something here I guess I have been allergic to. It seems to have subsided, but the first couple of weeks of the spring was brutal. So I start walking this gorgeous trail, sneezing up a storm, but I have to keep walking because I want to take in all the beauty. The next thing you know, I'm shedding tears and blowing my nose and just feeling really dizzy and out of it, and my sinus is congested and just in hell. I went from this beautiful state to this hell state, and then I drive to this little apothecary, and it was oh my God, here's this store that literally outside says natural allergy spray. I'm this is amazing. And I walk in and I buy these nettles, this kind of spray. And in there I find this gorgeous mug, and I'm just elated in there, even though I'm still sneezing and feeling really congested. I find this, actually, I haven't parted with it. Look how beautiful this is. Oh my God. I find this stunning, how pretty is that crystal? This stunning mug that I have been connected with, drinking, savoring my delicious yin power tea. I just was feeling so much joy in this beautiful handmade store. And I walk out and I'm like, wow, like the allergy spray worked instantly. I started to feel better, which blew my mind. And then I'm driving along the street, and mind you, I've just left the DMV like 4 hours prior, and next thing you know, I look up in my rearview mirror and there's a cop pulling me over. And I'm like, oh no. And I look at my speedometer and I just had no sense. We have a new car here and I just have no sense of how fast it goes. I'm like, oh, beep. So I pull over and suddenly my mind is going to, I don't belong here. I need to move back to California. And I start feeling really heavy and my mind starts going into, look, V, you're allergic to this place. Like, you don't belong here. Like, you need to go back home. And you just got your driver's license hours ago and you're about to get a speeding ticket. The cop comes over to my window and he's just like, the speed limit's 35 and you were going 53. Is there a reason for that? And I'm like, I didn't notice. This is a new car and I don't know how to use cruise control yet. I'm so sorry. But I start laughing. I'm like, you're not going to believe this, but I literally am coming from the DMV. Like, I drove out here to go to the DMV and I give him this like temporary flimsy driver's license that they had just printed for me. And he says, okay, he takes my registration and my little flimsy new ID driver's license and he gets in his car and my head just is going to like the pain of just look at these signs, like, you're not supposed to live here. This isn't where you're supposed to be. And that thought got really heavy really fast because I felt really trapped and I felt like I needed to escape. Like, I'm allergic to this place and it's not friendly. It doesn't want me here. I got a ticket as soon as I got a driver's license. And immediately there was some deeper truth that rose up in me and said, Veronica, you live here now. This is your home right now. And that sentence was very powerful. This is your home right now. This is your home right now. The bird is confirming that. As soon as I said that to myself, I settled in, and rather trying to run back to California, I dropped into where I was and I just looked out in front of me and the light was shining and the trees were dancing. It's extremely green here. Like, I can't even describe the shades of green that are here. It is so beautiful. And instead of fighting it, I was just completely in acceptance of getting a ticket and all of that. And I actually started feeling really blissed out as I looked out at the trees and became present with my surroundings. The cop comes up to my window. He asks me a couple more questions and he's clearly filling out the ticket. And then he looks at me and he says, look, I'm not going to give you a speeding ticket. You have nothing on your record. You're clean as a whistle. What I'm going to do is just give you a citation. Basically, it's equivalent to a parking ticket, which is nothing. Like, I pay $50. It never shows up on my record. It's like I was never speeding. I just thanked him. I was like, thank you so much. I know you just did me a massive favor and I really appreciate it. He gets back in his car and I'm still deeply present and there was no fight and there was connection. And as I drove away, I thought to myself, that could have been a nightmare. If I would have stayed in the story that I hate it here and that I'm allergic to this place and that the ticket was a sign that I shouldn't be living here, I would have been in such resistance to my life, to the moment, to where I actually am. And then I would have rubbed off on Jason when I got home. I would have been in a negative mood and I probably would have had a chip on my shoulder. But instead, I had the most beautiful day. I continue on. I go to the natural food market. I get out of the car and there's $11 just like sitting on the floor right as I step my foot on the pavement out of my car. I'm like, oh my God, how wonderful. And then I go into Whole Foods and it's like this combination of things I didn't want, like allergies and parking, getting pulled over and a ticket, and things I really wanted, like the incredible beauty of this gorgeous setting in nature, something really magical about it, all the way to finding a remedy for my allergies, like right when I needed it, that worked, and finding money on the floor and the cop just letting me off, This combination of sweet and sour is the reality of life, right? As Cameron Crowe said in Vanilla Sky, there ain't no sweet without the sour, right? Relationships are a combination. Work is a combination of sweet and sour. Health is a combination of sweet and sour sometimes. There's no escaping duality. Duality is here to stay. This is what the earth plane is. And so really to raise our frequencies, to master and command our vibrations, it really is as simple as the statement, this is my home now. Wherever we are, we could be in the middle of a beep storm with our families or our jobs or our health or all of that. Or we could be really bogged down by the global circumstance that we're in. But the reality is, this earth that we're all on together is our home right now. And if we try to escape it to some idea of a better place to be, we will for certain, guaranteed 100% suffer. You and me will suffer. I will suffer if I fight what is right now. And I know it's easier said than done, and I just want to share the simplest way to end suffering and raise our frequencies. And this is something my teacher, Leonard Jacobson, shared with me, who, by the way, moved to Asheville, who I get to see on a regular basis, which is incredible. For those of you in Asheville, North Carolina, highly suggest coming to one of his live events. He's doing a couple on Sundays here. He's going to be doing short 75-minute talks to start. What he taught me many, many years ago, at least a dozen years ago, and this is how I continue to hone my frequency and feel home in the middle of wherever I am and whoever I'm with, is to bring myself present with something that's physically here. So in the car, the cop lights behind me, the cop basically giving me a ticket, and I could have been up here in my head fighting. I want to get out of this place. I don't belong here. I hate it here. Oh my God, what is that going to mean about my insurance and about my points on my license? And what does this really mean? Da, 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 da. I could have been spinning in thoughts. That would have been a personal hell, which most people live in, and most of us are conditioned to live that way. What I did instead is I brought my focus to the trees, to the light coming through the trees, and my breath, and I just asked myself the question, you know what? What's the worst that could happen? The worst that can happen is I get a ticket, and my insurance goes up, and I have points on my license. I'm still home. I'm still here. Life is still going to go on. Just take a moment. Even look out this beautiful view here. It may look like nothing, but that tree is majestic, and she's a being, and she's radiant with light, and oof. Some of the simplest things, if we focus our attention on singularity, like we're singularly focused and we focus on something simple like a flower, something that doesn't have a story, and we just breathe and we sit until we settle, and we become still until we settle, and we drop technology and we just give ourselves space. Home opens up wherever we are. So I just wanted to share this with you in case you've been lost in the spin. We're living in the bittersweet, in the duality of things, where there are miracles happening every single day, and there is tragic shabib happening every single day, and both are happening simultaneously, and that's the nature of things. War and peace, love and hate, health and sickness, wealth and poverty. It is always going on at all times in every single moment of every single day, and there's no escape. And when the escape or the attempt to escape drops, which is a daily practice. Whoo! Frequency rises, love shoots up, creativity flows, inspiration opens up. All I can say is that short 4 hour, 3 hour, however long I was sitting there on that rock in that beautiful setting, completely filled my cup. So with this said, right here in this moment, if you can't go take 3 hours right now, I understand that. If you can, go enjoy nature or something you love, a bath, a self-care day, tech-free. If not, just for a moment here, what happens when we are present together? Focus on your breath. Notice your mind and what it's thinking about me, what it's thinking about anything, maybe trying to scroll or multitask, and that's okay. Just notice what happens when you drop in and let your eyes fall still on something, anything, and focus on your breath for 5 seconds. For 5 breaths. If you got something from this video, give this video a thumbs up. Maybe you received something from this video that was like a spark of light that may open something beautiful for you. I love you guys so much. I will see you in the next video. And if you're not already subscribed, you can hit the subscribe button if you want soul-centered living, soul-centered business videos. If you want to go deeper on your path, you can check out below my free workshop on 3 keys to commanding your frequency, to really raise your frequency in this beautiful workshop that I share with you. All right, my friends, I love you all so much. See you in the next video. Mwah.